We're. It's like we weren't ready. It's like we weren't ready.
We weren't ready.
We're drinking our drinks.
That one reminds me of a fuzzy navel.
It's a fuzzy. So
like the
we're doing it a little
fuzzy navel.
Yeah, we're doing a little different here today, folks. Welcome to another week of Case Files with Kat
and Ashley. I'm sorry, I thought you were going somewhere for that statement.
I was going somewhere, but then I realized I didn't introduce us. You know, for those first time listeners.
This is exactly how it was 7 seasons ago. You're not missing anything. I think.
Oh my God!
I'm worse.
I just started crying. You're making me laugh so much. Okay, hey everybody! It's another week. It is another week, and we have just opened a new kind of drink. We haven't had this on the podcast yet. It's a THC infused seltzer called Buddy. Buddi. Buddy. Mine is like a just peachy. What's yours?
Blueberry, and it smells so good.
Mine smells good. Tastes like a candy.
I like seltzer water though. I think you really have to like seltzers. But
Yes.
I like this. This is good.
So I have been I kind of trying the different flavors because I don't want it to be too strong of a flavor.
Yeah,
I do enjoy the seltzer, the bubbly, the whatever. So
I don't want it to taste like I'm drinking marijuana.
Exactamundo. I want it to just be like, it's a Truly, but you know, it's much lighter flavor than a Truly. So that is pleasant.
Yeah.
That's pleasant.
Yeah, this is good.
Whew. I'm sweating because I was laughing so hard. Okay.
We just started, you guys.
We just started. We're going to make it. So how's your week been?
Fantastic. I, per usual, procrastinating on work stuff, so you know.
I mean, you don't procrastinate that much. You're always working. Yeah. I think the juggling. You need an assistant. You need an employee.
I need
eventually.
like 15.
You need employees. That's what we're trying to get you to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been okay. It's been I guess nothing crazy's happened. Let me say that. So you know that's plus.
Phew.
I'll probably just jinx myself.
You're not sick right now. That's good.
Yes.
You're not. Yeah. Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
That's good.
After the 2 weeks of being sick, I am glad to like be able to breathe and eat and stuff again. So
that's awesome. Well, the news has been just chock full of true crime craziness. Yeah. We're not going to get into any of that, but I swear we're never going to be out of service.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this, unfortunately,
I feel like they found 5 more bodies or something.
Just
it's time we've like in the bayous alone.
I mean, just there's so much going on. Yeah, right, in the bayous. There's just so much going on, and especially when it comes to domestic violence cases and things like that, it's just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, for a domestic violence agency, we'd love to be put out of business. It's just never going to happen, and that really sucks. And I could get on my soapbox about so many things about why I think that is the case, but I won't do it. I will not subject our listeners to my tirade.
Oh, I will say one piece of exciting news is I did officially get my second plate at the Flying Saucer.
What? That's a lot of beer.
It's 400.
That's 400 beer.
But I've been a member since
400
2019 or 20, yeah.
Okay, so you've had 400 beers at one establishment since 2019.
Yeah, every plate's 200. Not last time we were there, but a time
Ashley,
before.
How much money?
Hold on, listen
have you
to
spent?
this. There was a guy there, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, this is like my 20th plate or whatever," and his friend is like, "This is my 36th plate." I'm like, "Oh, I'm on my second plate." Like,
don't try to catch up.
I was like, what?
Don't try to catch up.
That's so insane.
Here's
If you don't know, the Flying Saucer is a bar we have in Houston, and they have them all over, but you get 3 beers each time that count towards your total or whatever, and every 200 you get a plate on the wall. And
well, cheers to you. Woo. Congratulations.
Anyways.
Jesus, that's a lot of beer. That's a lot of beer. Okay.
That's my exciting news. I forgot.
That is very exciting
For me,
news.
it's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting
That's the kind
news.
of life I have. I've had 400 beers being documented on a wall in a restaurant. Anyways.
I guess my exciting news is my hips are fucked up.
Oh, that is exciting.
That is exciting.
You should try 400 beers.
I should. That might help. Yeah, I went for x-rays and I was just like, hey, ChatGPT, what does my x-ray finding mean? Like, well, the good news is you don't have arthritis, but the bad news is you're all kinds of messed up. Like some people have this and that. You have both.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
like, oh God, great. So I'm getting MRIs. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up under the knife again.
Okay, well, that was very exciting.
That's so. You got a plate.
I did.
And I might be getting a plate. I don't know. No, just kidding.
One of us is an alcoholic. One of us is.
One of us has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That's so great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
We're doing so great in life.
I love my journey for me. Which makes dancing in a musical just so great. So great. I'm glad I'm doing that. Like, can I sit this one out, please? Okay. I'm gonna get cracking.
Okay.
All right. So before we get started, I do want to say 2 things. First, listener discretion is advised. Okay. I think we should, we've been on track the last couple of episodes. So this episode, I'll be discussing stalking, domestic violence, and intimate partner homicide. So please listen with care. And second, I'll be referencing a podcast called Watching You from The Binge, and it's hosted by Jonathan Hirsch. I love him. If the story that I tell tonight interests you at all, I highly recommend listening to that podcast in full. Jonathan does such a great job honoring Nikki, who I talk about, and handling this topic with care. So highly recommend it. And I will be referencing it and I'll play a little tiny clip of it later, but I just want to make sure that I give him all the due props. I do also play a little bit of an 2020 episode called What the Cameras Didn't Catch. And so those 2 things you'll hear, but there's lots and lots of references, resources in the show notes. And of course, there's resources in the show notes for if you have any issues with domestic violence or sexual violence, please do reach out. And then there's ways to contact us. But I just want to make sure to put that out there before I get started.
Okay.
All right. We are in Stalking Awareness Month. So this goes along with that. Okay. Now to my story. Okay. When Dominique or Nique Leili disappeared from a suburb of Atlanta in 2011, investigators initially called it a mystery. There were no witnesses. There was no body. And as shown by body camera footage of the home, there was no obvious crime scene. At least not right out front. But mysteries don't usually involve a house with 21 surveillance cameras. 21. Or thousands of recorded phone calls, or years of control, or a husband who knew way more than he ever admitted, and children who were pulled into the middle of it all. So let's learn a little bit about Nique. So Nique is actually spelled Nique. Dominique Nique.
Okay.
She was a devoted mother. And that's how the people closest to her described her at first. Not as a headline, not as a victim, but as a woman whose world revolved around her children. She was this ultra petite middle girl of 3 girls. She was a full-on 80s kid. She had feathered bangs. She wore like the members only jacket. All of it. It was amazing. She was also incredibly smart. She earned a scholarship to Vanderbilt, which she eventually gave up to marry her high school sweetheart, who drove a Pontiac Thunderbird.
Oh.
And for those of you who are old enough to remember those, you get it. Right? You get it. So that was the young, intense love. And it cooled pretty quickly. By her early 20s, Nique was divorced. Then later, she met Mike, a man that was 15 years older than her. Her younger sister, Amy, really looked up to Nique. She didn't want to she wanted Nique's approval. So she didn't want to say anything to make Nique not want to hang out with her. She was like, oh, she's so cool. And then she's dating this man, and Amy just thought, no, that's not a good match. But Amy could also see that the family was pressuring Nique to settle down. And so she saw why maybe Nique was making the choices she was making. So Mike worked as a maintenance man at an apartment complex, and Nique tried to make it work. They moved to the outskirts of Athens so their dogs could run around. They had a nice big property. Nique went back to school. She earned her master's degree in education. She wanted to teach. They married. They had a daughter named Alex, and then divorced when Alex was still pretty young, just a few years old. By that time, Amy was now old enough to go to college, and she enrolled at the University of Georgia in Athens, which was close to Nique. And so after the divorce, the sisters decided to live in a cute little duplex together. They didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. They barely had furniture. They had fold out chairs, and so they would still go, okay, you get drinks, I'll get food. And they, would roast marshmallows and a little tiny thing out on their patio. They didn't have a lot, but they were together.
Yeah.
But they had freedom and they had each other. And that was great. Amy would later say that was one of the happiest times that she remembers with Nique. So to put this into perspective, at this time, it was 1996. I didn't even have email yet.
When did you say 1996?
1996. I got my first email address in 97. So put that into perspective. All right. I was a little behind on that, but still that I wasn't the last person. You know what I'm saying?
I was 11. So.
So, okay. I didn't have email yet and actually was an asshole. And
it's never changed.
So it's never changed. So AOL CDs were arriving in the mail all the time. Dial-up modems were screaming to life. And the iconic "You've Got Mail" was just becoming a thing. That was a part of our soundtrack. So that's where Nique was in her life. Online. She was chatting. She was enjoying a little escape from reality. She was finding all these groups to AOL Messenger, right?
Yeah. All the chat rooms. I was obsessed. Even at 11. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing at 11. I should have never had access to the internet.
I never went into those chat rooms. So this is the one thing I've never done.
You missed
I know I missed out. I mean, there's a lot of things I haven't done. I don't know why I said that's the one thing I haven't done. There are a lot of things I
wasn't going to ask questions then. I was just saying.
I have done a fucking lot.
No. But AOL chat rooms isn't one of them. That's the line.
Really, I'm behind on some of these things.
I loved AOL.
You what?
I loved AOL back in the day.
What was it called? What was your little name called?
It was just your screen name.
Oh, your screen name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway. That's where Nique was. So enter a man from Connecticut using the screen name LJ1N. LJ, the number 1N.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As in one and only.
Okay.
Barf. The LJ stood for LoJack because he used to work for LoJack. So LJ1N, one and only. Not cute. His real name was Matt.
Okay.
And they would spend hours chatting. Matt told Nique he was between jobs.
Just real quick, what was your screen name? Did you have one? Mine was Faded Stardom. I know,
So
shocking. So emo.
I didn't have a screen name
Oh, okay.
because I never did chat rooms.
Oh, okay.
What?
I thought you just had to create one to have an email and all that stuff. But
I didn't have an AOL.
Oh, okay. See,
No,
I had
yeah,
AOL and I was obsessed. And I know this is totally fucking your story. It's just,
She's like going down memory lane.
I loved AOL so much.
I never
it was
had.
so great.
My mom had it.
Anyways, mine was Faded Stardom. I was very,
You're so emo.
so dramatic.
It's so dramatic.
I don't even know. But yeah, and it was like the uppercase, lowercase, like it was so great.
No, that's annoying.
I know. I was 11. It was the thing at the time. God, bitch. Someone didn't even have a screen name.
I
Judging
know.
over here.
I know.
Anyways, continue with your story. I'm over it.
Well, you fucked it all up now. Anyway, this unemployed motherfucker. All right, here we go. He was between quote, between jobs. Mm-hmm. That just is always sus. He asked Nikki if he could come and stay with her and Amy and Alex.
Oh, okay.
Just until he got on his feet.
Okay, sure.
So Amy's like, what? Like, you don't even know this guy. So she goes and meets him in Connecticut. She takes a trip. She goes to meet him in Connecticut. She said she liked his big, abrasive personality. You know, he was like, kind of had that New York kind of vibe, right? Okay. Just sort of like brash humor, wah, 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 whatever. Okay, Amy wasn't a fan. But Nikki missed a lot of the red flags because she desperately wanted a relationship that worked. You know, like...
She wanted one or her family wanted her to have one?
Maybe both.
Oh, okay.
Like, her family wanted one, but she was like, I'm going to make this work. Like,
okay,
and
gotcha.
then once, you know, I think there was a little bit of that defiance of, if my family doesn't like them, I'm going to dig in my heels deeper.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a little bit of that going on. And so she was protective of her choice.
Gotcha.
She was like, he's my choice.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm going to protect that choice and ignore everything that is.
It's just the cat.
Okay. So Amy later shared via Watching You that the very first time Matt and Nikki met, like she gets off the plane kind of thing, he refused to speak to her until she barked like a dog.
Excuse me? There's more to this story after that? Because
there's a shit
no
ton.
Fucking way.
There's a shit ton after this.
No fucking way.
At the time, it was brushed off as a joke, but Amy knew it was a test. And you understand what I mean by test.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. To see how
I'm going to make you do something that's totally derogatory. And if you do it, then I know I can go further.
Yeah.
Right? And so she barked.
No fucking way.
And she thought that was just like cute flirting, I guess. Yeah. No. So Matt came to Georgia. And the stay for a bit plan quickly turned into just staying. Right? He picked on Amy aggressively, like stuff that was like he was trying to be like that was his little sister. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know how big brothers could, kind of do that, but in not as a mean way. Yeah. He was trying to like, you are not my brother. You do not get to do that. And he would like write it off as his humor. Things like shoving her into a box and closing it, only letting her out after she yelled that she was claustrophobic, and Nikki confirmed it.
What kind of humor is that? Except for a psychopath.
Yeah. Oh, he was just joking. Don't be so sensitive. So Matt didn't work. He claimed to be looking for a job, But months passed and he still never found one. Didn't seem to to be ever working. Eventually Nikki got a great job offer in finance in Oklahoma. She had, I mean, like really, really good money, a real career step up. And so she brought Matt and Alex with her. And Alex would later describe her mom as like the spunky, tiny, maybe 90 pounds soaking wet, with red hair, big heart, big enough to confide in about everything. Her mom was the first person she told she lost her virginity to, not her best friend. She told her mom, knowing her mom would not get mad at her, would not judge her or anything, but it was just very like, that's the person she told. You know, that is her mom.
Yeah.
That's what an amazing testament that your kid trusts you that much.
Yeah.
Matt, meanwhile, was over 6'5" and well over 250 pounds. Just huge difference in size. He thought it was funny to sit on 4-year-old Alex. He said it was a joke. If she protested, she was being too sensitive. He did this often. Why is suffocating a little baby like funny?
My aunt used to do it to me.
What? It's abusive.
She would put the couch cushion on top of me. She hated me, so you know. It was meant to be abusive. It wasn't.
It was meant to be abusive. He was mean, just like I'm saying right here. This man was meaning to abuse her. Really right away when it came to Alex, I mean, the gaslighting was constant, right? Yeah. Oh, it was just a joke. Stop being so sensitive. Yeah. That bullshit. God, I hate that so much.
Did Amy go with them to Oklahoma?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I think he resented that one, Alex wasn't his, right? And two, that he was like, well, she's not going to respect me because I'm not her dad. Oh, and three, that really Alex spent just as much time on Alex. Nikki spent just as much time on Alex as she did on Matt. And I think he was jealous of that too. You know, like there was so much going on that Alex didn't stand a chance. I don't think. So Nikki had to keep things peaceful. So she wanted this relationship to work. It had to, right? But she also was close to Alex. And so she split her time between them. Then this brought a lot of conflict between she and Matt. And they would fight about Alex. And Alex could hear it. So time goes on. Matt still doesn't work. Instead, he pitched a private security technology business, which required testing equipment at home. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's when the recording started. Cameras, audio surveillance. Oh, there was a war room. He had when they went into the house, like the body cam footage, there was a fucking war room. He had like this wall covered, like 16 monitors, and like he had.
Where did he get the money for all of this? Like she paid for all of this?
She paid for all of it. Okay.
I just didn't know, like if he, like,
tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Okay.
All of it. One detective said, man, the military would be jealous of the server. Like, we don't even have this big, like this much at the police station.
Yeah, I imagine for that many cameras and the monitors, like that room had to be just stacked.
And the saving of all of that data.
Yeah.
He didn't erase. It was all saved.
Oh my God.
Well, he tried to erase, but we'll get to that later. And Nikki paid for all of it. As Nikki's career advanced, the family moved again, this time to Mississippi, and Nikki was pregnant with Matt's daughter, Amanda. He finally got a kid. Matt never bonded with Alex, so, this was his chance to have the family he always wanted. Right?
Yeah.
She was just like, I get to have another baby, but he was sort of seeing it differently. So Alex later described violent fights in Mississippi. One moment that stayed with her was when Nikki was about 9 months pregnant, and she had Alex like holding her on her hip, and Nikki punched a glass pane, I think, to like get attention from the neighbors. And Matt, with pregnant, holding a baby, pushed Nikki and the baby to the ground. He pushed them so hard that they went flying and fell on the ground. And the reason he did that was because appearances mattered. He didn't want neighbors to hear Nikki making a scene.
So he made a scene.
He made a scene. And 4-year-old Nikki at that point knew
You mean Alex?
Alex
Yeah.
knew that Matt was dangerous and that she needed to protect her mom. So like internally she was like, I am going to protect my mother. Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I need to take my meds. Not so fun fact. From the International Association of the Study of Pain. Okay, that's a thing. Children exposed to family violence show the same pattern of activity in their brains as soldiers exposed to combat.
Oh, goddamn.
Both environments trigger similar trauma responses, including anxiety, fear, sadness, difficulty processing emotions, and potential for PTSD, depression, and aggressive behaviors. Both groups can become hyper aware of threats in their environment as a survival mechanism. How sad is that?
Yeah.
It affects everybody. That's why I will die on this hill too. Domestic violence is a community problem because it's not just the one person getting beaten up. Okay, but I digress. So Amanda is born and she offers some hope for change. Right? This has got to be a fresh new start, right?
Yeah.
Nikki traveled constantly for work, though, and Matt was the one staying home with the girls. Just cute little story. He liked to chase them with a chainsaw around in the yard with like a live
His
blade.
own daughter?
Yeah. As they got older, this is like things that he would do. Yeah. Huh?
I said fun.
Yeah, so this kind of isolated them because, of course, if friends came over, how fun is that?
Yeah.
Right? Ha ha ha. And this just all became their normal. They didn't know. It didn't happen just once.
Yeah.
Like this was the thing that he did. Ha 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 ha. But while Nikki was on the road, and when I say she traveled like Sunday night, she would leave, come back on Friday, kind of a thing. Leave again on Sunday. Oh, awful.
Yeah.
But she called every night and helped with homework. And whenever she could, she would go to the basketball games or whatever, the kids' basketball games. Matt still did not have a job. And he still wasn't building this surveillance, security, private, whatever company.
Yeah.
He just kept getting more equipment and testing it out on his family. Awful. Not making a single dime. So between Alex and this failing business, there was a lot to fight about. But if you were looking at it from Matt's perspective, they were fighting about she didn't kiss him with enough passion as she walked through the room. She didn't say, I love you with the right amount of passion. They aren't having enough sex. She's not giving enough blowjobs. She didn't look excited enough to see him when he walked in the door, kind of shit. Like he would break it down like that.
She is working 6 days a week while he's not doing shit. I don't understand.
He's trying to make this relationship work, Ashley.
Oh, right.
And he's asking for is no attitude and uncompromised adoration. That's it. He wants no limit. Don't be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And I want
I'm out.
quality love. You need to walk by me and kiss me like you've never kissed me before every single fucking time. I shouldn't have to ask for sex all the time. I shouldn't have to. And she's like, you're right. You're right. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to ask for affection. You're right. You shouldn't. There's a reason you're asking. Like that's the part you're not getting, right? You know, like she's having this, she's saying all of it all in her 90-pound self. And the only way she can fight back is by using her voice.
Yeah.
How else? You can't fight physically. So you're yelling, right? So the fight sucked. And it was always him like, why don't you just calm down? Because they were all recorded. All of them. So, bloop, bloop, bloop. So, a few years after Amanda was born, Rebecca arrived. Little baby Rebecca. The last of them. She didn't have the years and years of history that Alex and now Amanda did, but she does remember fights and being roped in to those fights. Like he would get the younger girls to gang up on Nikki. Like, why are you trying to break up the family? Why do you want to that kind of thing, that kind of shit.
Gross.
Mommy, just come home. We should go on vacation together and we need to work on our family. Like when she tried to leave, that kind of stuff. Terrible. All on tape too. So Nikki had thought about taking another job so that she would be home more, but that would require another move. And she couldn't do that to Alex again. So she'd have to go live with her dad if she did that. Like if we move, I couldn't do that again. Alex, meanwhile, was a teenager and getting the worst treatment from Matt. He was cruel. But Alex thought she had to stay to protect her mom. Eventually, Matt started to wear Nikki down, though. Matt convinced her their marriage would be so much better with Alex out of the way. He actually said to Nikki, "I feel like it's this marriage or Alex. Like it's me or Alex. You say you can't be happy as a family without Alex. Like she has to be here. Well, yeah, that's my fucking kid, man.
Yeah.
Like he just wore her down." Because that was like their main fighting point.
Yeah.
That's what he always fought about.
Poor Alex, though. Like, to be in the middle of all of this.
Yep. They even went to see a lawyer about transferring the custody to her dad. Yep. Matt was there. The lawyer was interviewed later and said he was so controlling. He wouldn't even let her speak. I can't explain it, but, like it was a very bad feeling that I had. I called her later and asked her if she was being abused in her marriage. She told me no. Most of them do. Heartbreaking. So Matt didn't want Nikki helping her daughter at all. And when it was time for Alex to get a car, and she was sneaking around kind of looking for one. She wanted to do something really nice for Alex. And at this point, she wasn't talking to Alex's dad either. Nikki wasn't, because Matt wouldn't allow it. So no communication between the two parents. Like if they had to say something, they had to tell Alex, but this was all in secret. So before Nikki could ever get her a car, Alex's dad bought one for her first.
Alex's dad wasn't awful, right? Like he wasn't like Matt, right?
Right. So Nikki was pretty broken up about it. Matt, meanwhile, called Nikki a cunt and a lying bitch and blah, 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 blah. Said he couldn't trust her because she was going to go buy a car and not tell him. And she's like, yeah, but I didn't. And I would have told you. And like, this whole, so just, he was so manipulative. And this was like another fight that would just last for probably months to years. I'm sure it was just went on forever. Eventually though, they still stay together. He still stays unemployed. She's still paying for everything. She gets another job and they move to Georgia. They move back to Georgia. At this point, Nikki doesn't know that she's being recorded like in her car. So as all of this is happening, even the car buying and all of that, every time she gets in the car and she wants to call somebody to vent, a friend, whatever, not her family. Her family wasn't really in on all the drama, but like she had a friend that she would sometimes vent to, all recorded. So he heard everything. Every time. Didn't help the marriage at all. Shocker. There was even a camera that he had pointed at the refrigerator, like in the basement at home, so he could catch Alex like stealing a Coke.
Stealing from her own household.
Yeah. He paid for those Cokes. She can't have one. Whatever. Yeah, whatever the reasoning was, stupid. This wasn't security. This was abuse.
Yeah.
Right? This was abuse. To have like monitoring your entire household all the time. Gross. So here is a clip from an argument. And this is from episode 2 of Watching You.
We had a fridge downstairs that was stocked with the sodas and the beers and all the things. So I would sneak down there and get Cokes. And I would get busted because there was a camera down there watching me go down and get a Coke.
And for that, she'd get punished.
Oh yeah, I'd get my phone taken away for getting a Coke.
It appeared as though the subject of Matt's frustration and surveillance always seemed to be the things he couldn't control about Nique. Her ex, her child.
I know they fought about me.
If Nique even tried to reach out to her ex-husband, Matt would fly into a rage.
It got to a point where my parents couldn't communicate other than through me because he tracked everything she did. He read every text message or call or whatever, anything she did, he tracked.
Here I sit again. Another fight. Hundreds of fights later. And how do I feel? I feel that it's either Alex or me. You're telling me you can't be happy without Alex. You can't be happy unless this family is together with Alex.
Matt didn't just see Alex as a problem in their marriage. He saw her as the problem. But clearly, there was a lot more going on.
I asked for no temper, more affection, attention, and effort into this marriage. I've asked for maybe 5 or 6 things, all of which you told me comes naturally. I deserve them. It's something that comes natural in a marriage.
It should come natural in a marriage.
That I shouldn't even have to ask for.
That's right.
How many days, just in the past 2 weeks alone, have you disengaged and taken off from this marriage? Have you not displayed good temper?
When did I disengage? Done. This conversation is over.
Good for her. Where she says, you shouldn't have to ask.
She's like, that's right. You shouldn't. Okay, so here's another bit.
No, I got
You're
it
not going to tell me what
I got it on tape.
On tape in the car? What you did to me in the car?
I got it on tape.
What have you got on tape?
She was the only one bringing in money into the house. She was keeping all 4 walls up, and he sat on a couch monitoring his 15 security cameras. I look back on it, and it wasn't rebellion. It was protection. Like, the way that I look at it now as an adult is it's how I protected myself and probably why I'm alive.
In this next recording, I'm not sure, but it sounds like Matt struck Nique.
That's not what I said and how I said it, and don't take my words out of context. When we got in that goddamn car...
God damn it. Fucking damn it. Lower your voice. I am not gonna sit here and listen to this shit. You're driving me fucking nuts.
Welcome to my world. You killed me a long time ago.
It's rough.
You can tell that this is more than just surveillance. You can tell this is more than just stalking. This is emotional and physical and psychological abuse happening in this house. This man is dangerous. And 90-pound Nikki is scared and only has her voice to fight against this 250-pound dude. And he tries to act like he's this calm guy, but the real him pops up in that recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for all of us to hear.
He just loses it.
You could tell he was trying to be like, just calm down. And that's how a lot of those recordings are, where you're like, motherfucker. You just want to like, oh my gosh. It's
just for show.
It's this like, you're the one that's acting crazy. You're the one that's yelling. You're the one, right?
Yeah.
I am so calm. There's no reason. You're just crazy. You are the crazy person, right? Yeah. Oh God, and you could also tell now from how the story is going and how it's escalating. The final straw for Alex, though, came when she wanted to go see a Braves game with friends. She called her mom, who was out of town, and she said it was okay. So she told Matt she was going, and he talked her into taking a phone. She's like, I already have a phone. And he's like, take this phone instead. Right.
I'm confused. So Alex was back living with them?
She hasn't left yet.
Oh, this is before she went to.
She hasn't left yet. It was thought that she was going to have to go. They talked about it, but never pulled the trigger.
Sorry, I thought she, Okay.
Yeah. So she told Matt she was going to go, and he talked her into taking this phone with her. No, you have to take this. So she was like, fine. She put it in her bag and left. Like she wasn't going to pay much attention to it. She went to her friend's house. They were just going to hang out for a bit, wait. And it was her and her mom, the friend's mom, she was going to drive them out to Atlanta to see the game. And they were just kind of hanging out. Well, all of a sudden, Matt arrives. He walks into their house, doesn't even like knock on their door, walks in their house without knocking, pulls Alex out of their house saying she did not have permission to be there. And because she was supposed to be at the Braves game, not at this person's house. So she was done at this point, and she asks her dad if she can move in with him, and he agreed. So her promise to stay to help keep her mom safe had to go.
Yeah.
She just couldn't do it anymore. And Matt finally got his wish. So she eventually left. Matt told her the day that she left, after when her dad came to pick her up, Matt told her she was never welcome in that house again.
I'm sure she was heartbroken.
But she said this right in front of Nikki. He said this right in front of Nikki.
Yeah.
And Nikki said nothing. After 13 years, Alex was free, but Nikki wasn't. So Alex wasn't allowed to see her sisters or spend time with them on holidays or anything. So she was really isolated from the whole family. Alex only spoke to her mom if she was in the car, and that hardly ever happened. Even then, that hardly ever happened. She called her Aunt Amy saying like how much she missed her mom. And so Amy made Nikki spend a girls' day out, and they were supposed to have lunch and get a mani-pedi. And so Nikki was like, okay, but whatever we do, it can't take long. I can't be gone that long, and I can't spend that much money because that will just cause.
Even though she's the one making all of the money, right? Just to be clear, she's still the only one working.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He never had a job this whole time. So they went out, they got their mani-pedis, and, Nikki helped Alex fill out a, rental application and, was co-signing it and things like that. So it was just a great day. They didn't spend that much money, but they did get mani-pedis. And they were just like at Amy's house, like sitting at the kitchen table, just having a nice girls' day. And it was great. And it would be the last time that they would have a day like that. A week goes by. On July 8th, 2011, Nikki was last seen on surveillance footage going outside, sneaking a cigarette on her patio before bed. The next day, she was gone. So 2 days later, Matt calls Amy and says, Nikki's missing. She was like, well, what do you mean? When's the last time you saw her? He's like, well, she hasn't been home since Saturday. And she's like, what? Call the police. It's been 2 days.
Yeah.
Call the police. Oh, she said, I didn't want her to be embarrassed if I called the police, so I didn't. Because Nikki was going to be embarrassed that you called the police?
Yeah, that's weird.
That is so weird. So it was Amy and her dad that reported Nikki missing. Matt did too, but before reporting her missing, he also hired a divorce attorney to file for divorce. And he went to the courthouse to have Nikki committed because she was crazy.
All of this while she was missing.
All of this, like on Monday, right? Like,
you don't even know where your missing wife is, and you're going to try to get her committed?
Yeah.
And divorce her at the same time.
Yeah. So
interesting.
So on July 16th, volunteers gathered. Amy had called the press and said, "Hey, we're going to be starting a search. You know, you guys should show up." And so it was like they did their little talk. It was 100 volunteers. They showed up and they made a grid of the neighborhood. You know how they do. And the cameras were there. Like one station showed up, right? And the cameras were there. In 10 minutes on camera, you can hear a volunteer scream. And Amy goes to see what happened, and they had found Nikki within 10 minutes of the search starting. Within minutes. It's crazy. But guess who didn't show up? Matt. Because he didn't give a fuck. What a piece of shit. Am I right? Worse. So hiring a divorce attorney after she goes missing and before you call 911, not a great attempt at covering your tracks, my dude.
I feel like that would have been just like...
Then he goes to the courthouse to have her committed since she's so crazy. Oh, God.
Knowing the whole time that you're the one that killed her and you're still doing all of this is just bonkers to me. Like, what are you even doing? Like you know you killed her. So what is the point of all of this extra shit you're doing?
I think he's trying to cover his tracks.
I understand, but it's just like, why? Like,
right.
Everyone's going to know it's you anyways.
Right. Okay. So Nikki was found less than a mile from her home. I mean, he's just dumb. What a dum-dum.
Good that he's dumb.
It's good that he's dumb. So less than a mile, she was nude, covered in leaves. Her feet were clean, her pedicure intact. She didn't walk there. So she ran away somewhere. And I know you're all thinking at this point, well, I am sure there is plenty of footage on one of those 21 cameras at the house. I'm sure, because that's logical. That's good police work right there. But you guys would all be wrong. Because guess what? There wasn't. Somehow, in Matt's telling of it, somehow when he was asleep in his office, in the war room, Nikki came in and just unplugged everything. And then left. And then disappeared.
But there's no footage of her going into the room to do this.
There's no footage of her going... Yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
And so, oh my gosh, there's no footage from those 2 days.
It took him 2 days to plug it back in?
Weird. I guess so.
Interesting.
I know, right?
Who could have killed Nikki?
Just who
Can't wait to hear.
It's a mystery, I tell ya. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it also, like, you know, there's people who could look at your hard drive. Does he not know that either? You can't really. Okay. Anyway. So then the autopsy report comes in. And she had some levels of GHB in her system. GHB being the date rape drug. Now, let me tell you something. when Matt does call 911, when that phone call finally does come in, he overshares. In that 911 call, he's such a piece of shit. It doesn't surprise anybody. But he was like, my wife has some mental health issues, okay? She's been known to kind of lose her mind, okay? And I think what happened was on the way home, we had a nice dinner and, I was talking about, well, I want to have sex, but, the sex we've been having lately has been, not.
This is a 911 call?
This is in the 911 call. And I'm almost saying it verbatim. Okay. Because he says that a lot. So saying, I told her, well, the sex we've been having isn't so exciting. So maybe she would want to put on a little outfit to dress up tonight. And she kind of went crazy from that. And then she left, I guess, was the, wow. So I slept in the office and then she left. But before she left, she unplugged everything, knew how to do that. I wouldn't know where to fucking start. It's probably not like, this is the one unplug button, give me a break.
All of that to have such a shit story. At least, come up with something better if you're going to try to lie.
For reals. So, knowing all of this, still not enough to arrest him. They still don't have enough because it's all there's nothing wrong with her. They don't know how she died. They don't know how she died. They can't rule out that she was asphyxiated, but there's no sign of strangulation. But they don't rule out asphyxiation because he could have suffocated them your fucking aunt did, right? That same shit. He's big. It wouldn't take a lot.
Yeah.
And not to her, just twice her size. Anyway, date, rape, drug, fight, the whole thing, nothing. Doesn't matter. Not enough. So in 2011, at the end of 2011, he took his family, the two kids, and they moved to Vermont just to kind of get away from Nikki's family. So the kids are now isolated too. What? You have a question?
No, I'm just annoyed.
I'm telling you. So cuts off the Nique family and moves to Vermont and really starts to turn these, tweens, preteens, against that side of the family. But investigators keep working. One Detective Richter, spent over a year reviewing 1,200 hours of footage. So much. And having to watch and learn about, he said, in watching you, he said that he really got to know Nique. He's like, I know Nique better than I know anybody in my life, right? Listening to her, and he's like, I know she was a good woman and a good mother and a good wife. She just wasn't enough for him. This monster, that's it. She was so great. You could tell he loved her. She was fiery and snappy. She was very clever. She was very smart. And, it's heartbreaking. He goes, I know what's going to happen to her. And I think she knew too. Oh, heartbreaking. Anyway, so he kept looking at all this footage, but nothing was there was literally no smoking gun, right? So he got another cyber detective. I don't know what the title of this guy was, but he was able to see, hey, the forensics guys, they're like, oh, look at all these files that were deleted in the exact hours that, wow, who could have done that? Only Matt could have. And that was it. That was the smoking gun right there. And they were able to see like through these deletions that those exact hours that Nikki was, quote unquote, missing. So they were able to arrest him, and that was that thing. Okay, so this is actually after he goes to court. I'm just going to tell you, this is because this is sort of things that started to come out. I'm going to jump ahead. We know that he's obviously in jail, but this is from a 2019 Georgia Supreme Court ruling upholding his conviction. It says appellant Matt was verbally abusive and exhibited controlling behavior, such as physically restraining Dominique by placing himself on top of her, locking her in the bathroom, recording conversations, and using technology to track her location. Dominique confided in friends that appellant was also physically abusive, at one point pinning her against a wall and putting his hands around her throat. Coworkers testified that they observed injuries on Dominique despite her apparent attempt to hide them with clothing. In the weeks before her death, Dominique announced to friends that she was ending her marriage, but expressed concern about doing so because appellant had threatened to kill her if she tried to leave with their children. So there was no smoking gun in regards to, like, they don't know how she died. But doesn't that sound like we all know how she died?
Yeah.
Wasn't that just pretty clear? That's crazy.
I feel like it's pretty straightforward.
I mean,
I felt like from the beginning it was pretty straightforward.
Well, we
But I
know
understand
like
they have
how
to
he killed her. Like,
yeah.
Like he got a thrill out of that.
Yeah.
That's I mean, if he was doing that to the kids, damn. So like I said, eventually they discovered the deletion, and then Matt was arrested. He was arrested actually while he was at court fighting over the life insurance policy for Nikki. Okay, so now I'm going to play that 2020 video.
From behind bars awaiting trial, these recordings obtained by 2020 reveal Leili has an audacious plan to spring himself.
Make sure you tell people we have set up a YouTube channel to tell you the truth about what happened in our home.
Okay. His secret weapon, his own daughters, Amanda and Rebecca. They get Father Knows Best instructions from jailhouse phone calls to launch a YouTube crusade to defend him against Nikki's family.
All these years we were told to be silent. To protect Mama's image, we can't be silent anymore. My daddy's now in jail because of these false allegations. It's time we tell the truth. That's even better.
Just listen. They execute his instructions almost word for word.
It's finally time for us to tell the truth and for us to call them out on their lies, and now's our chance.
You know, say something insulting from this pathological lying family that doesn't want their dirty laundry aired. But the truth will come out.
The family is making sure that we can't say anything, we can't argue to keep their dirty laundry from being aired.
Then Matt uses his daughters to support his claim that their mother, Nikki, was crazy.
My mom started pacing back and forth, and she started kind of mumbling to herself.
Don't forget to tell everybody about the YouTube site because we want it on TV, okay? Okay. Love you, baby girl. Good luck today.
I love you too. Did the one daughter forget that he chased her around with a chainsaw? Like, was that just erased from her memory?
Just.
Like, I don't understand the loyalty to him.
You took my mom. All I have is my dad. It's us against them.
He took your mom.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say. Anyway. Oh, gosh. What a piece of shit to use your daughters like that, though. God.
Yeah, to put your kids in the middle.
And he would, they are interviewed, but like he would get mad at them if they didn't spend enough time going through footage to help support, his lawyers. And so it's like they were almost like acting like paralegals in a way, and she would be like, I have a science project due. Well, I guess you just want me to stay in jail then. I guess you just want me to die here. What? Like, I just, I can't with this man.
He made them watch the footage of him and her fighting to try and find proof that she was crazy. That's what he was having
He was
them
looking for clips of how happy they were, I think.
Oh.
So I don't know that
That's
they watched.
crazy. You'd have to search that much to find happy clips.
So the trial started January 25th and finished January 29th of 2016. So many years later. But by the time this case reached trial, it was obvious that the courtroom wasn't just going to be a place where evidence was presented and weighed. It was going to be a place where a family's deepest fractures were exposed publicly. And painfully in real time. So from the very beginning, the prosecution and the defense told two completely different stories. Not just about what happened to Nique, but about who Matt was as a husband and as a father, and about what kind of marriage Nique had actually been living in before she died. Because that was up for debate. But the most emotionally charged moments of the trial didn't come from forensics experts or technical testimony. They came from their daughters. And so throughout the proceedings, the girls stood by their father, the younger girls, publicly, repeatedly, emotionally. They described him as loving, as misunderstood, as a man they believed could not have hurt their mother. And listening to them was brutal. Their testimony was raw and personal and at times incredibly hard to sit with, not because it wasn't sincere, but because of what it represented. Because here's the tension for the jury. And honestly, all of us were left holding. How do you reconcile children defending a parent they love with evidence that points to that same parent as their mother's killer? I mean, how do you? The prosecution never stood up and said, these girls are lying. Instead, they offered something a little different. They asked the jury to look at the context. They talked about years of influence, emotional control, and dependence, not just over Nique, but over the entire family dynamic. They argued that Matt didn't just control his wife. He controlled the narrative inside the house. This is what experts call trauma bonding, a situation where fear, instability, and manipulation actually deepen loyalty instead of breaking it. Where defending the abuser feels safer than confronting what the truth would mean. And in cases like this, loyalty doesn't always come from love. Sometimes it comes from survival. Yikes. The prosecution laid out what they said was a long-term pattern of control, surveillance, intimidation, isolation, escalation. And they argued that this pattern didn't end with Nique. It extended to the girls themselves. They asked jurors to consider whether the daughters' defense of their father proved his innocence, or whether it showed just how deeply that control had taken hold. Jurors were asked to do something almost impossible: hold empathy for grieving daughters while still evaluating the facts of the homicide case. The defense, of course, leaned heavily on the girls' testimony, and they used it to reinforce their central argument that Matt Leili was a devoted husband and father, and that Nique's death was still some kind of tragic mystery.
Did they not have the video footage in court of him killing her?
No, it was deleted.
Oh, I thought they retrieved it, though. That's what.
They could just tell that footage had been deleted, I guess.
Oh, okay.
They asked the jury to see doubt or the prosecution saw pattern, but prosecutors kept coming back to the same point over and over again. Patterns matter. Control matters. And loyalty formed under fear or manipulation does not cancel out evidence. When the jury finally weighed everything, the testimony, the surveillance, the phone calls, the inconsistencies on Matt's own statements, they reached a verdict that reflected the full picture. a verdict that recognized both the heartbreak of the shattered family and the responsibility for Nicke's death. Matt was sentenced to death to life for the death of his wife. I'm so sorry. So I know, right? For murder, 2 counts of felony murder, in fact, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 3 counts of unlawful eavesdropping and surveillance. One of the aggravated assault charges alleged that he made an assault upon the person of Dominique Leili with intent to rape. He appealed. The Georgia Supreme Court, as I said, upheld his conviction. Good fucking riddance. Because the court affirmed what prosecutors had said all along, this was not a mystery, it was a murder. And years have passed since then. Nicke's girls have done what so many families affected by this kind of violence try to do. They found a way to exist in the aftermath. And the younger girls still struggle with holding on to love for their father. I can't imagine that. While also understanding who he truly was. They don't speak to him, by the way. Alex doesn't have that conflict that they do. She never had any love for him at all. And that creates some distance. How do they share their missing of the father that they wish they had? Mm-hmm. How do they have that conversation with somebody who has no fucking...
For me, as Alex, it would be so hard because your father killed my mother, even though she was also their mother, but... Yeah. Like, that would be so hard for Alex
and it's
be in.
It's hard.
For anyone to be in. That's a hard position.
But the sisters do love each other. They were eventually able to reconnect years and years later. It took a long time. Even if their relationship isn't what any of them might wish it could be, they've grown. They have families of their own now. And I think it's safe to say that Nique would be incredibly proud of all of them. And that's my story.
Well, I hated it.
Great. Super.
It's so sad. Like, I don't know.
It is really sad.
It's sad because this is an everyday occurrence for so many people. This is not an isolated incident in this country.
And so before we end, I do want to say, since it is Stalking Awareness Month, this case is just another reminder of how serious stalking really is. It's not harmless. It's not a misunderstanding. It's often a precursor to violence. And it deserves to be taken seriously every single time. And if any part of this story felt familiar to you, please trust that instinct. There are people who believe you and can help you figure out the next steps. And we'll share resources in the show notes, including for Spark. That is the Stalking Awareness organization and the National Domestic Violence Hotline. But if you're local to us, Bay Area Turning Point is available 24/7. Just resources are in the show notes.
I think a big problem is TV and movies just romanticize stalking. You know what I mean? So often.
Or they're like, oh, he's paying attention to me. Or
and so it's hard for so many people to take it seriously when it really is so dangerous.
So cyber stalking is also stalking, y'all. So, pay attention. But you're not alone. And you don't have to handle all of this by yourself. There are resources. So
you can message us anytime.
We're here for you, man. But yeah, yay. Did I just, what started out as kind of a goofy episode.
This is a true crime podcast.
It is a true crime podcast.
It's an important message. It was a good story. It's just sad because, the ending, but.
Yeah. I think hearing her voice is something that I'm glad it's still there because you can hear her feistiness.
I would hate to be the investigators that had to sit there and listen through all of that. Like knowing what was going to happen.
Detective Richter said it fucked him up.
I bet.
It was 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and it impacted his relationship. It impacted, everything. He was angry after every single work day. He was just angry because he would be like, this whiny motherfucker would just, you don't pay any attention. And she's just trying to keep the peace. She's trying to get him to love her, see me differently. She just fought for survival, and she wanted him to love her still after all of it. I think she just wanted peace. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. Anyway, what do you got for us next week?
I don't know how to follow that up.
Okay, probably a disappearance, and then she does a new disappearance.
I was thinking about doing there's a local case, and then also the one that told us about.
No, I said I was That's mine.
I know. I'll probably.
We're fighting. Every time someone says, hey, you guys should do a story about this, Ashley gets it. And I'm like, no, that's not fair.
Oh my God, stop it. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing.
Tell us what you want to hear about. Send in some suggestions. We're happy to. Happy to
people used to all the time, and we've done a lot of stories that people send in. So, be it a local case or whatever, just let us know.
Reach out.
We're here.
We are here. So until next week, please be kind. Please look out for one another. Be kind to each other, and see something.
Say something.
Say something. All right. See you next week.
Bye.